Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to tonight's MIAA Round of 32 State Tournament Soccer game here at South Hadley High School. We'd like to thank everyone in attendance for coming out and supporting these teams. Fans, a brief reminder that high school athletics encourage good sportsmanship, and we ask that your conduct towards players, coaches, officials, and other spectators demonstrates good sportsmanship and respect for all in attendance. And now, please enjoy tonight's D4 Round of 32 matchup between the visiting St. Paul Knights and your South Hadley Tigers! Congratulations to both teams for advancing to the state tournament. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visiting 33-seeded St. Paul Knights. Starting in goal, number 21, May McGowan. Number 40, Kylie Crocker. Number 12, Tatiana Guerra. Number 24, Tess Hunter. Number 27, Kate McGowan. Number 9, Mia Monhe. Number 15, Julia Restaghini. Number 14, Jessie Restaghini. Number 23, Lily Sargent. Number 4, Ava Stankus. And number 5, Ka Ta. The head coach of St. Paul is Jana Berthium. She's assisted by Kathleen King and Maria Monhe. And now, the starters for your South Hadley Tigers. Starting in goal, number 00, Drew Ellie. Number 4, Kara Dean. Number 6, Allie Fleury. Number 9, Cece Gurek. Number 12, Emma Leveralt. Number 23, Gwen Marion. Number 7, Lauren Marjansky. Number 2, Kate McCardle. Number 14, Gigi Roy. Number 16, Maddie Soderbaum. And number 20, Margot Watkins. The head coach of your South Hadley Tigers is Rich Marjansky. He's assisted by Lisa Manzi. Fans, we now ask that you rise if you're able to. Remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Hi, ladies.
Well, we already so he's gonna stop it. He's gonna it's not all the
It's the round of 32 in the D4 state tournament. Welcome, everybody, to another broadcast here on the South Hadley Sports Network. My name is Brady Dennison, and I'm being joined tonight by someone who is usually my producer. Tonight, he's my color commentator. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Colin Zaronic.
Thank you.
I couldn't hear you. Please put the mic closer to your face.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, maybe bump the volume up a bit.
Is that any better?
That is much better.
All right.
So it's the Tigers in the 1 seed against the visiting St. Paul Knights of St. Paul. Let's see if I pronounce this right. Diocesan.
Very well done.
Senior high school, the 33 seed. So it's going to be quite the matchup tonight. This St. Paul school hailing out of Worcester, Mass. Long bus ride, especially for one of those school buses. I'm sure it was freezing on there. Colin.
Definitely could not have been a fun ride out, and it's going to be a even more painful ride back.
Well, let's not get too arrogant. It's a game. It's definitely a game. It's the state tournament. There's a little more oomph in the fight. I mean, obviously the Tigers are the 1 seed, so they've got the target on their backs, but they're also heavily favored to go pretty far this year.
Right.
So, Colin, tell me what you've seen of this girls' team, and I know obviously last week you were at the West Side Turf covering the Western Mass Finals game. How'd that go?
Well, it was an unfortunate loss for the girls, but they definitely did play well. They were able to hold their own for a majority of the game. I'd say they maintained possession for at least 75% of the game. It was just when the ball ended up in the defensive third, that was where they struggled. And I would expect a slightly better performance tonight, especially from their offensive line. They had someone man-marking Lauren Marjansky almost the entire night. Tonight, I'm expecting the Knights to have slightly weaker defense than the previous Pope Francis Cardinals. So it should be a good game to watch.
Well, it's definitely a contrast. I mean, the Pope Francis Cardinals, we had seen them 2 times before. They knew who to cover. St. Paul is likely coming into this blind, and they're not going to know who to go for. Is there an issue on the tech end?
We're working that out.
Fingers crossed for that. And we will kick off in just a moment here on South Hadley Sports Network, your home for Tigers athletics. Colin loves when I say that. Maddie Soderbaum and Lauren Marjansky come toward the ball, and we are underway. Allie Fleury is going to take that. It's going to be taken away there by a St. Paul player, kept to the Tigers' possession by Maddie Soderbaum. Now Emma Leveralt's going to send one over midfield to Gigi Roy. It's across the field to Margot Watkins. Watkins looking to get around the defender. An attempted pass to CC Gurick. Will roll away from her. And it will be St. Paul who puts it out of play. Throw in there came from, I believe, Margot Watkins. But the Tigers didn't do much with it, and it's back out of play. So, Colin, obviously you played for the boys soccer team here at South Hadley High School. You want to take us through that game in Winthrop this past week?
No, I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to, but I definitely will. It was a struggle of a game. It was definitely rough, both on the defensive end and offensive end, for both teams. For those of you who followed along on our Instagram, SH Sports Network, you were able to see we're posting live. I say we. Brady was posting live updates on the channel.
It was the admin, yes.
Yeah, and
I did great.
we went 80 minutes scoreless, went into 2 overtimes. Those were also scoreless, and with the PKs, a lot of that, part of it's luck, the rest of it's skill. The goalies very rarely are able to save those. Our keeper, Noah Krillin, he was able to make a couple of really big saves, but unfortunately lost 3-2. But we're happy with how we were able to finish off the season. One round in the state tournament. That's not a bad run for a young team.
You know, I feel bad for our senior, Sammy Morozov. His final season as a Tiger. Spent most of his career down with JV. Unfortunately, missed a lot of practice time. But Sammy was the heart of that team, and everybody was trying to win it for Sammy.
Oh, he absolutely was. And I know that he really did enjoy the last game. And it was still a fun bus ride home. We got to enjoy ourselves.
It was fun. And I mean, it's hard to not be at least a little bit happier when you're on those coach buses instead of a cold, dead school bus. Which, by the way, Coach C, if you're watching this in the future, thank you for booking us one of those coach buses. Not only for that, but you've got them for baseball and for boys soccer last year, obviously. That was an incredible run. We're hoping that the girls can run it back and get us one of those coveted Bay State-shaped trophies once again as Emma Leverall takes it over midfield. Passes to Cara Dean, and we'll go. Allie Fleury loses control of it. She'll get on a race for it. She'll send it right into the middle. Cece Gurrick can't get to it. And Maddie Soderbaum gets a touch. Now here's Lauren Marjansky. Her shot will go wide. And I believe it was tapped by the keeper, Mae McGowan. But there will be a South Hadley corner. Marjansky sets it up. Here's the kick. It did not go in. It came pretty close.
Absolutely should have been a handball on that play. Bounced off the chest of a player. I'm not actually sure who it was, but then up into the upper part of her arm.
Keeper sets up a punt. Got a touch there from Cara Dean, the freshman. Gwen Marion across to Margot Watkins. Now it's Kate McCardle. Her sister Maddie did not start tonight. I'm sure we'll see something of her later. St. Paul will take it over the middle, but not before Gwen Marion can stop that offensive push. There was a kick there from Julia Restaghini. Gigi Roy will send one bouncing out of play, and that will be a throw-in for the Knights, and that is number 12, Tatiana Guerra. Restaghini and Kate McGowan both getting touches there. Gigi Roy running hard for it, along with number 5, that is Ka Ta. Interesting name. Colin, I do have to say, one of the most fun parts about being a sportscaster / PA announcer is some of the names I've gotten to call. I think there was a name. It was Granby. Granby baseball. Good friends with this kid, Nick Masajic. One of the most fun names I've ever gotten to pronounce. Miasszek.
Impressed you've actually managed to memorize that.
Well, I've known him for a bit now, so it wasn't going to be all too hard. I could see how your name would be hard to pronounce, Zoronik.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sure you have that one memorized, too.
Oh, of course.
Here, you got it. Step off to the bounce.
Gigi Roy off to the races there. She'll send a kick out of play, likely. It's a little hard to see that corner of the field from where we are, but our cameras can capture it. Nick Jimenez running our lone camera for tonight's setup. And, of course, our teacher advisor, Miss Jess Nelson, also in the building. Dan Pease from South Hadley Community TV was up here a few minutes ago, but he has since left. He was conducting some interviews for Beautiful Ball, another project. Here's Allie Fleury, gets it, and shot scores!
Right over the head of the keeper for a nice early goal for the South Hadley Tigers.
A tight angle between her and the corner of the net, but she's able to deliver as she usually does.
Very fast-moving play there. Just from the 50, it took probably 5 or 6 seconds just to get into the 18.
6 from 7. They have to move up.
And a beautiful pass from Lauren Marjansky over to the left side.
You know, a lot of people are talking about how the Tigers are going to be hurting without Lauren Marjansky next year, but it's clear that with Allie Fleury, we have somebody to take the reins. And we've seen some promise from other younger players. Maddie Soderbaum's a senior next year, and Kiana Ramos will likely be a varsity starter next year.
Definitely, and in the midfield, Cara Dean has been a huge asset there. We mentioned in the previous stream that she had started off in goalie for them while Drew Alley was out sick. But she's really proven herself in the field this season.
It's great to see our younger players getting into the game, and I think we see the same thing with Michaela Weaver, another freshman. Marjansky can't get it past the defense. That's going to be Guerra on the pass there. There's number 4, that's Ava Stankus. Kate McCardo, who's been another incredible force in the midfield. Pass there up from McGowan. These numbers are actually kind of hard to read. That is number 26. Is it? I couldn't read that number, if I'm being perfectly honest. And our other teacher advisors here, Miss Amy Foley. This is my kind of throwing in the broadcast way of saying hello to her. And now Dan's back.
Dan returns.
It's the South Hadley Sports Network reunion here in the booth. Touch there from Ta and Mia Monhay had a meaningful touch there. Throw in from Maddie Soderbaum. Lauren Marjansky trying to get to it, but that's the 7th grader, Kylie Crocker, who will send it out of play there. One of the cool things about playing in a, what's it called, a junior, senior high school is you see a lot of the younger players getting action.
Hey, there's 2.
Sorry about that. We're just figuring out some tech stuff. It'll be a goal kick for May McGowan, the keeper. A couple different sister duos on the team, I would take it. Maybe cousins or something. This will be, I believe, Mia Monhay. Is that an 8 or 9? I don't have anything on my roster, so that has to be Mia Monhay. Maddie Soderbaum sends a pass. Allie Fleury over midfield. Works it past the defense. But,
Great stop by the defense there.
yeah, that was number 23, Lily Sargent. Stoppage there. Do you know what the call was there?
Looks like it was offside. She began the play offside and returned back to the ball.
It was substitution on the line. It's senior Rachel Yabra. Her first taste of action this evening. She'll come in for Cara Dean.
Good job.
And as we say goodbye to our wonderful studio manager, Dan, who I think is actually headed out this time. He's saying goodbye. We would like to once again extend our gratitude to the South Hadley Community TV station for putting us on and providing us with some equipment.
All of our equipment.
All of our equipment. Not the press passes. We would be nothing without them. So a huge shout out to Dan, Chris, Patrick, and Mike over there. Am I missing anybody, Colin?
No, I believe that's everyone.
I believe that's everybody. Monhay able to get it past the defense of Maddie Soderbaum. Centering feed there to Ava Stankus. In open space, Kata going for it, and so is number, is it 15 or 16? It's 15, Julia Restigini. It'll bounce out of play, and it will be a throw-in for the St. Paul Diocesan Knights. I went on Google Translate just to learn how to pronounce that, and I still can't get it down pat.
It's close enough. Definitely sounds right.
Big kick there from Gigi Roy, and now Lauren Marjansky has it around midfield. Ali Fleury getting off to the races for it. She can't get to it. Tatiana Guerra playing defense there. Kate McCardle to an open Emma Leverall. Headed by Lauren Marjansky. CC Gurrick can't get it past the keeper. A huge top of it save for Kate McGowan. She'll set up a punt. It's headed by Kate McCardle. Touch there from Jesse Restagini. Gigi Roy, a big kick there. Looked like it bounced out of play there off the touch from CC Gurrick. Abby Jelinas at the line for a substitution. Now, Colin, the Tigers spent most of the season without Jelinas. What do you think kind of impact she's made from the couple games you've seen of her so far this year?
Not gonna lie, I don't have an answer for that, Brady.
Okay.
I've been too focused on the technical side. I haven't really been able to pay too much attention to the games.
I mean, with a smaller setup like this, with one camera and a scoreboard, I mean, like, how much do you really need to pay attention to the mixer?
Oh, today not too much. Today it's really just a scoreboard.
So watch the game. Heading from essentially every player of both teams. Stopped there by smart play. An 11. A few more substitutions at the line, Maggie Evans and Maddie McCardle. If you saw that incredible edit on the girls' soccer Instagram that I was ironically enough tagged in, that was Maggie Evans' dad, Chris, who does an incredible job with videography, photography, and edits like that. Colin, would you like to talk?
Hey, you're the play-by-play guy.
Well, yeah, but if there's like dead space and I need to fill the air, that's part of what you're here for. And I honestly can't tell what's going on right now. So for those types of plays, you could take over, and our subs go in. Margot Watkins, CC Gurrick, and Emma Leverall will come on.
This is going to need all of our
So. Apologies for my silence. Ali Fleury keeps it in play. Marjanski's able to get it past the defender. Into open space. Fleury getting to it. The slide tackle's successful, but Fleury's going to try and keep it in bounds. Unfortunately, she can't, but she'll throw it in. Marjanski, pass to an open McCardle. It'll bounce into the possession of St. Paul. That was Ta. Got the touch there.
Solid defensive play there by, I think that was Gwen Marion near the back. Last line of defense. Could have turned into a 2v1 there.
Throw in from Stankus, gets batted away by Maggie Evans. Great defense play there by Maddie Soderbaum. She'll get it away from St. Paul, but it'll be Julia Restagini who will get to it. Stankus up and over. Booted there by Gigi Roy into the possession of Maddie Soderbaum. Stankus gets it away. That's Kate McGowan. Pass back to Stankus. Won't go very far. Gigi Roy and Gwen Marion doing their best to get it out of play, and they will. And it seems as though I have lost my color commentator. Oh no, wait, he's back. I do owe Colin some credit. I mean, he's got this whole tech thing down pat. The coordination is incredible.
I appreciate the credit.
Gracie Darren comes into the match, and Maddie Soderbaum will take a break. Throw in to Gracie Darren. Pass there to Gigi Roy. Roy up and across. Intended for Maddie McCardle. She's got it. Up to Abby Jelinas. Jelinas has been a difference maker through her first couple games this year. Marjansky across to Darren. Darren's shot is right into the gloves of the keeper, McGowan.
Definitely a good shot there. A little bit better placement definitely would have helped, but good power and just the right time to shoot there.
So it's up and over and headed by Maddie McCardle. Maggie Evans to Kate McCardle. To her sister Maddie. St. Paul only has one substitute tonight. I'm sure it's unfortunate for them. They only have 13 players on their roster. So it's going to be a tough game.
Lots of playing time for them tonight.
I agree. Colin, have you ever been on a team where there was only one or two subs where you had to play the majority of the game?
Not that I can remember, no.
Allie Fleury's in open space. She'll get a desperation shot away. It'll roll and bounce into the hands of McGowan.
Get up and win the ball.
Punt is up and over into the possession of Rachel Yabra. Yabra off of Julia Restighini. Tried to keep it in play there, Maddie McCardle, unsuccessfully. I believe that is number 14, Jessie Restighini, on the throw-in. Ta trying to go for it. It's taken away by Gracie Darren. To Gwen Marion to Kate McCardle. McCardle over midfield. Pass to Darren. Back to McCardle. Allie Fleury can't get to it in time. McCardle regains it. She'll get it away. A touch there from, I believe that was Kate McGowan. Roy to Allie Fleury. Fleury. Big pass there. Abby Jelinas gets to it. Her shot rolls out of play.
Beautifully placed pass there over to the opposite side of the 6-yard box. Just wasn't able to get there in time.
Colin, you know way more about soccer than I do. Quite frankly, I never could have been able to make that what's the word? Observation. Thank you, Jana.
Well, you know, after playing for 9 years, you pick a thing or two up.
I figured. And aren't you officiating soccer now?
I am, yeah.
That shot was caught pretty easily by McGowan.
Again, not the wrong time to shoot though. Wide open, just outside the 18. That's a good shot to take.
Thank you again, Colin. Kaylee Rule and Maddie Soderbaum will come to the line to sub in. As Maggie Evans tries to get it past the defense.
You got time. Look at Sweat.
Good touch there from Mia Monhe. Gigi Roy across to Gwen Marion. Marion down the middle. Now it's Kate McCardle. Up, tries to get it to the winger. Huge boot there for the goalkeeper. Bounces to Rachel Yabra. Her touch is headed for Albie Jelinas. Fight for it there. Won by Kate McCardle, who takes it off of something that got sent away. The roll pass. That'll be a goal kick, I believe. Substitutions will come in. And
Coach, you called for a timeout? You did.
I believe there is a timeout there.
Keith,
That will be a timeout on St. Paul.
what do you want me to put in the
So we will step aside for the moment. Tigers up 1-0 and early on South Hadley Sports Network, your home for Tigers Athletics.
Can you put, okay, listen, is that, I can't tell him.
So Colin, as somebody who's played soccer for all your life, what's the mentality at a desperation timeout like that?
Well, right now, I need to turn that up. Well, right now, their main focus is no longer going to be defense. Right now, they're going to start moving their midfield into a higher attack. I'd say move into, I believe right now they're doing 2 CDMs, or center defensive midfielders. I'd say now they move into maybe 2 center attacking midfielders. Or maybe just bring up another midfielder to cover the offensive front.
We do see some representation from the boys soccer team downstairs. Danny Boyer, Spencer Parsons, and backup goalkeeper Max Barkham are all down there, as well as some JV guys. Now, Colin, you played down with the Jays for a few games this season. What's the skill level and pace difference between a JV game and a varsity?
Well, obviously, I was about to say something, but I lost my train of thought. What I was going to say was it's obviously meant to be a slightly different skill level. Varsity has definitely been seen to have a much higher speed, and it's interesting transitioning between games from one speed to another. But the skill level that we have on our JV team, it's a great group that we have coming up next year and the following years. So we're going to have a good group coming up.
Very well said. And speaking to some of the other prominently JV coaches, as there is a huge kick there from number 23, Lily Sargent. Speaking to some of the other JV coaches, they've talked about how important it is to teach and develop the sport when they're in JV, so that when they make varsity, they're not making as much of those mistakes. It's less about learning, and you can go at that faster pace.
That's right. And our varsity coach, Mike Gothier, this year
was the JV coach last year.
Right. This was his first year as varsity, and while he was on JV, one of his biggest focuses was versatility and being able to move throughout the field and play in multiple different positions. And that was still a focus of his this year, and that's something that a lot of JV coaches do, and it's definitely helpful for the game.
Few players on the line for substitution. Emma Leveralt and Margot Watkins. The kick in there is headed by number 24. That's Tess Hunter. Kick there from Maddie McCardle, headed behind the net.
No, that's in the net.
That's in! Huh.
Wow.
Huh. I'm surprised.
I'm not sure who that goal is credited to, because I didn't see who shot it.
Own goal, I guess.
You don't see that too often.
So apparently the goal was headed in by a St. Paul player. We're seeing some more substitutions here. Maddie McCardle and Rachel Yabra come out. And 2 players entered the game, or 3 did. We have another freshman in the game, Riley Fisher, who spent most of the season with junior varsity. Got called up as a bubble player for the Western Mass tournament and eventually now the state tournament. A group of her, as well as Taylor Bolo and sophomore Lila Shark. But it's good to get these younger players into the game, especially when you now have a 2-goal lead.
Definitely, and especially with, as you mentioned earlier, we're going to be losing some big players next year. It's good to get these younger players in and used to the speed difference on varsity.
So, Colin, your commentary has been so stellar right now that you are honestly my favorite color commentator that I've worked with.
Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, and Miss Nelson is very offended by that.
there's a key word that I missed there. My favorite student commentator that I've worked with. Because Jane L. Solos.
She still doesn't seem that satisfied.
Jane L. Solos. She is the talent. If you're curious, that is an inside joke amongst the South Hadley Sports Network, determining which of our crew members is, quote-unquote, the talent.
Comment on our Instagram. Tell us who the talent is.
Hashtag BDenny is the talent. Get that trending. Lauren Marjansky, she is a high school soccer player.
We're not bringing that joke back.
Okay. Let me have my fun, Colin.
Another thing throughout this game, South Hadley has definitely maintained possession for, I'd say, probably 80% of the game so far, as Lauren Marjansky has it in the left corner. What was I saying? They've maintained possession, and it's even been in their attacking third for definitely, I'd say, 60% of the game. Another great shot just outside the net. I think we're going to keep seeing a lot of those, lots of shots, even if they're not on net. A lot of good shots from their forwards and some of their midfielders, too.
So now one of the subs comes in, number 29, Katie Phipps. And for South Hadley, number 8, Sophie Quinn. So we're seeing some more new players come in. Colin, one of the things that I've been seeing is a lot of the offensive movement and a lot of the offensive plays have been done by players other than the big two of Lauren Marjansky and Allie Fleury. We've seen a lot of guys like girls like Abby Jelinas and now Riley Fisher coming in and doing some of that offense.
Yeah, and even though it's different players, a lot of times you'll continue to see the same general play that they've been using. A lot of times they'll go down the outside, usually between the yellow outside and the soccer out of bounds and the football out of bounds. And once they get within the 18-yard box is when they'll end up passing it in. And I'd say it works like probably 5 out of 6 times they're able to make it work.
For any of you baseball fans out there, I just got a notification on my phone that Shohei Ohtani, the two-way ball player, just got a qualifying offer from the Angels. A good sum of money attached to it. Colin, I'm not sure if you know who this is. You don't really follow baseball. Shohei Ohtani can throw a baseball over 100 miles an hour and then can hit a baseball almost 450 feet.
Quite the impressive play. Oh, that should be a handball. Yeah, it's called handball.
Arguably the best two-way player to ever play, and Babe Ruth is in that conversation. Looks like Cece Gurk's on the line to sub in. Allie Fleury, a tough shot there. She'll get it into the 6, but no one's there to capitalize. And it's kicked out of play by a St. Paul player. And now Cece Gurk comes in. With just over 12 minutes remaining in this first half, the Tigers already with that 2-0 lead. Colin, what's the importance of getting so far ahead on the scoreboard this early?
Well, that just means that later in the game we'll be able to focus less on our attacking front and more on our defensive front. Along with later in the game we'll be able to take out some of the more what's the word?
Seasoned.
Yeah, seasoned and more like offensive, attacking, and I guess even more necessary players. And we're able to sub them in with other players who maybe haven't gotten as much playing time this season.
I really wanted you to say more Gooder.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go with Gooder. I feel like that didn't really fit the phrase.
Well, yeah, considering it doesn't fit proper grammar either.
Absolutely right. As Miss Foley taught us, easy grammar.
Colin, when I did the field hockey broadcast, in my left ear I had an English teacher, in my right ear I had an English teacher. Because the wonderful Miss Tara Cole, who was a coach for field hockey and now an official for field hockey, came up and spoke to us about that. That's one of my favorite things about doing these broadcasts for the Sports Network. You get to talk to so many people in and around the school that know so much about what they do.
Yeah, and it's especially been helpful with all the different people that have been that are knowledgeable in their own fields. it's been helpful with like our special guests. We had Jason Burke came on for one. Who else have we had?
We've had Matt Foley from the baseball team.
Matt Foley.
We've had, obviously, Miss Jess Nelson. The talent.
Oh, yeah, the talent.
We've had Miss Foley, who coached in different levels of sports for years. As Kate McCardle comes to the line.
Another thing we got to do recently, the school administration, more specifically our principal, Miss Wood, she reached out and asked us to cover the transition fair, which was a trip called St. Paul. But as I was saying,
Ava Stankus.
As I was saying, we covered the transition fair, which helps kids with special needs find different programs after high school that'll support them. And we were asked to put together a little video interviewing the different departments that showed up. And that was definitely something fun to do and a different experience. But another instance where people that have a lot of expertise in their fields that we just got to talk to for a while. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was a really interesting experience. And one of the coolest parts is a lot of my family works in that field, my mom included. And I got to speak with somebody that works in her former agency. So it's just putting into perspective what my mom does for work, and I get to learn what my family's doing as well. As Marjansky will get a desperation shot away, it will go wide. So it will be a goal kick being set up by May McGowan, the keeper. Off the body of Ava Stankus, Kata there. Sophie Quinn and Kate McCardle both get touches there. McGowan with it now. Sets up a punt. Just in front of the 40. And they will play a pass here. Kate McCardle up to Albie Jelinas. And McCardle will fall over the ball there. So it's become more apparent to me already now that the Tigers are starting to slow down their offense.
Yeah, definitely. I can also see, I believe we were running 2 forwards at the beginning. It looks like we've dropped down to 1. Though as I say that, it looks like someone moves a little higher.
Looks like Lauren Marjansky and Abby Jelinas.
Yeah.
And Allie Fleury is coming into the game again now, so. Colin, do you have a favorite professional soccer club?
I'm not going to lie, I've never really watched professional soccer all that much. I think really the only game that, I don't know if they count as professional. MLS, I guess it counts as professional, is the Revolution, who, the one game that I've watched of theirs, they unfortunately lost.
To who?
Couldn't tell you.
That's valid. I do have a favorite club, only out of other reasons, though. The ownership group that owns the Boston Red Sox also owns Liverpool. So Liverpool has become my favorite team. They also own the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey team and Fenway Racing. So
lots of different fields there.
yeah, it's an interesting ownership group. I heard they were interested in buying the Celtics as well.
Oh, that'll be interesting to see if they actually end up jumping on that deal.
And Allie Fleury goes in to take the spot of Abby Jelinas. Colin, now that the majority of the Tigers' offense is out of the way, it becomes more conversational, as you've seen with some of the football broadcasts, where Justin and I will just start talking about random stuff.
Oh, I know you're good at that.
Uh-huh. And I do want to extend my gratitude to Justin. He is also one of my favorite color commentators that I've worked with.
Keyword, one of.
One of, yes.
Got you beat.
almost up and over Mae McGowan, but she'll jump to make the save. Colin, you know any random sports facts? I'm trying to keep it as on topic as possible.
Yeah.
Also,
That I can think of off the top of my head? No, I don't. I'm sure you do, though.
see, most of my stuff, it's kind of like baseline knowledge, but like about things that you would find obscure. Like I can tell you every NHL team that's won the Stanley Cup back to 1980. But
With South Hadley back in the attack. Oh, very close shot by Lorna Marjansky. That one definitely within a foot of the post.
and it's not like they come few and far between. I mean, Marjansky's obviously been an absolute wagon for this Tigers team so far this year.
Just going back to a previous conversation, because we got a comment from a viewer, I do have a favorite professional team. It is AFC Richmond, coached by the lovely Ted Lasso.
Oh, good lord.
Yep, and I know our advisors are definitely happy about that one.
Colin's a big Ted Lasso fan.
Halloween costume.
He did get a Ted Lasso Halloween costume. I've still yet to see a picture of it in it.
Yeah, and don't expect to see one.
How was your Halloween? I don't think we've had a broadcast since Halloween.
Well, we had the broadcast on Halloween, so that's basically how I spent it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Western Mass Final for the girls.
I was unable to be there. I was at a Halloween party that I actually ran, so I couldn't really cancel it. And I was dressed as Peter Griffin from Family Guy. And it was the funniest thing at that party.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was an interesting party, I'll give you that.
Again? Oh, I'm sure.
Some fellow members of the South Hadley Sports Network were there. You sure, I think.
I'm sure.
And we will stop in just a couple moments here for stoppage time. But this game is still going
Another
strong.
uncalled handball. That one even might have been in the box. Including both on South Hadley and St. Paul. There's definitely been at least 4 this game.
Well, I mean, there's only 2 officials tonight. And Colin, isn't there a rule that states that you have to have 3 officials and multiple ball boys for a tournament game?
That I'm aware of? No. That sounds like something a coach desperate for a win would say.
A coach that looked like he was fresh out of college who got sent to a bus who was desperate for a win. But we won't go any further.
Margo, help in the middle, Margo.
It's going to be Monhay trying to get to it. Stankus sends it into open space, but Gwen Marion's there to recollect for South Hadley. As we wind down to this half, the Tigers still with that considerable 2-0 lead. Or isn't the proper term 2-0?
Well, we're not in England, Brady.
Who's to say I'm not British? All right.
Oh, God.
Someday, and I've said this on other broadcasts, I'm going to do a full broadcast in a horrible accent. I'm thinking Southern, but British wouldn't be bad. Kate McArdle. Back to Marion.
That will be the broadcast that I do not show up for.
Cara Dean. I'm not gonna. You guys can't hear this or see this on the broadcast, but Colin is like actively telling me to shut up.
Pretty much.
Colin is the glue that holds the South Hadley Sports Network together, and I have all the respect for him. His dedication has been unequivocal.
You just wanted to one-up Miss Foley with the special word choice, didn't you?
I used it in my essay that I was writing today.
Spell that.
UNEQUIVOCABLE. Unequivocal. You want to go spelling bee, Colin? I can go spelling bee.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh. Boo. So we are now in stoppage time. So we will likely be winding down in just a couple. I'd say probably not even a full minute. Kate McCardle trying to get to it now. Gets it almost past the defender. She'll advance to Ali Fleury, I believe. Across Marjansky, tries to get a pass out to Maddie Soderbaum, but it won't go. Cara Dean trying for it with Julia Restighini. And that's time for the first half. The Tigers up 2-0 after 40 minutes of play. Here on South Hadley Sports Network. You want to finish it, Colin?
I will. You're home for Tigers Athletics.
That's the way. We're back for second half action between the Tigers and the St. Paul Knights. Tigers lead 2-0 after 40. Colin, you want to give us a little view on the first half, what happened?
Definitely. Well, our first goal was a beautiful goal, as we expected, an early goal from either Marjansky or Fleury. That one came from Fleury to the left side, from the left side, and a very weird goal, to be honest. A headed goal from the St. Paul Knights. I blanked on their name for a sec.
Took you long enough, yeah.
Yeah, but I figured it out. But yeah, I would expect that in this half, St. Paul is going to come out fast. But as you know, they have a lack of subs for tonight's game, so they're going to start to slow down throughout the half.
We're going to see some incredible defense from these Tigers, as I'm sure we expected to. But I'm wondering if they want to get another insurance goal just to keep things, just to keep it in check.
Of course, it would be nice if they were able to get another goal, but that's no longer going to be their main focus.
We do have some celebrity sightings down past the end zone there. Girls basketball head coach Paul Dubuque, as well as high school auditorium monitor Mr. Bastian, a fan favorite amongst the South Hadley Sports Network crew.
I don't know if Mr. actually watches the
South Hadley Sports Network, but we have all the respect. Isn't that right, Colin?
It absolutely is, Brady.
That sounded forced.
It absolutely was.
We also have another guest in the booth with us who obviously won't be on the mic at all, but member of the boys soccer team, all-league center back Anthony Adams. You may know him better as Anthony Films on Instagram. He makes video mixtapes for a lot of the teams here at South Hadley High. I'm not sure if he's focused on one specific player tonight. I want to say he was shooting for... I'm honestly not sure. Catch me there by May McGowan. Anthony might be joining us in the winter doing some color commentary work for basketball, so stay tuned for that.
Certainly hope to see that.
There's gonna be a lot for winter sports.
Indoor gymnasium
A lot easier to get Ethernet, so we'll be able to go to our road games. Is that right, Colin?
That is right, and very well, very good technical knowledge from you.
I know a little bit. Out of all the people on South Hadley Sports Network, I think, except for you, obviously, Colin, I think I'm the one who can set up and break down a camera the fastest.
I'll give you credit for that.
Because Colin and I, before South Hadley Sports Network, Colin was doing some sort of internship with South Hadley Community TV, and I was helping out as a play-by-play announcer for a lot of their basketball broadcasts. So we've been in and around the system for a while now. So as Colin tries to direct something, I'm just going to let that be. Marjansky in the slot gets a shot away, but it's batted away by May McGowan. It almost bounced into the net there, but she was able to make the stop. I'm trying to think of more questions to ask you, Colin, on the
Ray,
conversation.
something I think we are yet to talk about so far is the upcoming Tigers Rewind.
Oh my goodness, how could I forget?
You want to talk a little bit about that? Tell us a little bit about what we can expect.
Well, I appreciate you passing me the reins here. Tigers Rewind is something that I've sort of spearheaded here on South Hadley Sports Network. Last year, Colin and I did a fudged together state championship preview. It was in front of a beige curtain in my dining room, and it was horrible.
Which, might I add, was a very wonderful beige curtain.
I think it was a
Just like that pass up to Lauren Marjansky.
great segue. Colin should win Emmys.
I completely agree, but anyways, Tiger Rewind.
Carradine gets a pass there. We'll get to Maddie Soderbaum. Tigers Rewind is going to be a sports recap show akin to what you'd see on ESPN. We're calling it Tiger Sports Center behind the scenes. But legally, we can't use that name. Tigers Rewind is going to feature myself, Noah Carillon, and Caden Drawing. Justin Bosco was unable to make the cut as he has previous obligations. We are going to be recording Wednesday?
Most likely Wednesday, yeah.
It's over Drelly. They scored. Kata.
An unfortunate goal there, but great ball handling by the Knights. Was able to get through probably 3 defenders there.
And time is called by South Hadley, but I feel like we should take them through what's going to happen with Tigers Rewind. So, we've got to look at, obviously, with these broadcasts and just with being sports fans and sports spectators in general, we've seen a lot from these teams, and we decided we'd put pen to paper and write about them, and now we're going to talk about them via teleprompter. We're gonna give as good of a in-depth analysis as possible from our standpoint, and we're also going to talk to some of the actual, people that are in the game. We have interviews with soccer captain Lauren Marjansky, football captain Owen Dawson, and I believe we're also going to conduct one with the golf head coach Jason Burke. But it's been a lot to work on. Colin knows he's been a writer on the script. He wrote actually a good majority of the script. But I'm really proud to see that some stupid little video that Colin and I shot in front of a beige curtain is now becoming a full-fledged production with South Hadley Sports Network.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see how it turns out with the newly included South Hadley Sports Network members. Especially to see how they do. We've been able to see how they do behind the microphone, but I'm excited to see how they do in front of the camera.
Reading a teleprompter is not the easiest thing. I have stumbled on my words a lot and then cursed myself out a lot. The field goal is good.
And that is the first of the night, I believe. I forgot to start the clock.
How could you? So Tigers Rewind, we're shooting more than likely Wednesday. And my hope is that we're going to pause here. My hope is that we'll be able to get some behind-the-scenes content to you on Instagram, which I do need to talk privately with Colin about. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Colin, football. There is a consolation game this Thursday against Amherst. So, would you have any interest in covering that, Colin?
That's something I have been thinking about. There's a solid chance we will be covering that. That really depends on the game tonight, though, and depending on if we win.
When the next round is.
Yes. I believe that is set to be Wednesday at 5.
Here?
I believe so.
Get far post, get far post.
90% sure.
So it'll be a double shoot night for us here on South Hadley Sports Network.
You're home for Tigers Athletics. Okay, anyways.
You're the best. One thing that we were talking about earlier today is South Hadley Sports Network, we want to introduce a sideline reporter, whether it be for football or basketball. And I was thinking, why don't we run a dry run of that on Thursday for the football game? Just as sort of a test run.
Yeah, you did mention that to me earlier. That's something that we should,
Look into.
yeah.
And that's something that we can also, hopefully, if there's enough of a crew, bring to the Battle of the Bridge game on Thanksgiving, which we are also covering. So if you're not watching a specific parade on NBC, you can watch some high school football, which all in all is better than seeing a bunch of giant balloons. Speaking of Thanksgiving, Colin, what's the best food at Thanksgiving?
Bread.
I am in utter disgust. If you could see my face right now, I'm grimacing. Bread? Boy. Care to elaborate?
No, I don't.
So, out of play there off,
No, a hard foul,
a hard foul, yeah. Drew Alley's able to come out and make the catch.
That's another thing that Drew has been really showing that she excels at this year. I wasn't really able to watch last year, but I'm sure she did something similar. She really is great at determining when is the right time to come out of net to save the ball and when it's the right time to stay back. And that's something you really need to see in a keeper.
Drew Alley only got to play about half the minutes last year, as obviously Riley Suchenis. Last year she was a senior and she got the first halves and Drew got the second halves. This year obviously Drew's the full-time starter and she's been doing a pretty great job at that. Only I think 4 seniors last year, Colin.
How many are there this year? Is it 6?
7.
7. Okay. I was close.
Last year it was Emma Sanford, Casey Leverall, Sally Wade, Rachel Goodwin, and Riley Suchenis. So that's 5. If there's one more, I'm honestly not sure. Boys soccer lost a lot of seniors last year. Like 12 or 15, right?
14. Big number.
Obviously forefronted by guys like Charlie Anachek, Colin Quinn, Nate Carillon, Eddie Wajkowski, Adam Campbell.
Beautiful pass to the middle.
Fleury can't do much with that. Rolls away. Lauren Marjansky trying to get past the defense to get to it. It's out to Margot Watkins. Passes in the middle. Maddie Soderbaum with an open shooting lane, and it goes wide of the net. Substitutions come in. It's Katie Phipps for St. Paul, Rachel Yabra, and Abby Jelinas for the Tigers. So you're telling me bread's better than stuffing?
You're really still stuck on that, huh?
Colin, think about who I am, and think about why I'd still be talking about food. I'm sorry, folks. Self-deprecating humor is what keeps me going. Turkey and stuffing. Great things. Kate McCardle will try and get a touch there, but her and Kata will. A Tigers player, or a St. Paul player gets tripped there. I believe that is Mia Monhay.
Clearly, coach does not seem to agree with that call. And quite frankly, neither do I. It seemed like she kind of fell on her own. If anything, there was contact with the ball. I didn't see a foul there.
You know, getting to work in, I say work in sports, I mean obviously it's a full-time job. Getting to work with all these great coaches, I have to say, Fish is one of the nicest I've worked with. Keyword, one of the nicest coaches I've worked with. Janelle's clearly number one.
Oh, of course. Oh, and that makes Miss Foley upset.
Coach Foley's number two. And I'll put Fish at three.
What a missed touch. Nice, easy clear there.
When Marin and Kata both try to get to it. Abby Jelinas now.
And that one's going to be a slide tackle from behind. That one, nice easy call for the officials. Sounds like there might be a threat of a yellow card. That'll be the last warning she'll be getting tonight for any type of foul.
For what player?
I actually forget.
Number two, they're saying for
South Hadley.
Well, St. Paul doesn't have number two, so that's Kate McCardle. That's unfortunate because she's been a great force in the midfield for the Tigers. Gigi Roy now Emma Leverall advanced the ball. Rachel Yabber with the boot there. Abby Jelinas will maintain it. Taken away there by Katie Phipps.
And I believe there it's called a dangerous play or a high kick, which will give South Hadley an indirect free kick.
I was going to say chain of possessions here. Big kick from Gigi Roy, almost headed there. Rachel Yabber to Kate McCardle. McCardle to pass to Abby Jelinas. Jelinas with an open lane. Across, headed by Marjansky. Flurry get to it in time. They're calling it out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Maddie McCardle and Maggie Evans will come in now. And of course, kick is up. Some of the St. Paul players. Now it's somebody was off to the races there. That was Mia Monhe. Kata trying to get to it.
And that will be called another trip.
On McCardle, I believe.
Stops a huge play there, but that clearly was not intentional. So I think she'll be getting away with that one.
So it'll be a free kick for Kylie Crocker. Drew Alley taps it over the uprights. I think that's a field goal.
I don't know if we can give it to her. It was tapped by another player before it was able to go over. I'm gonna have to take it away from him.
Noted football referee over here. Collins Aronic.
Yeah, the middle school recess referee making a return.
Oh my God, I remember that. Every day in middle school football, I would try to play tight end, but no one would pass to me, so I stayed on O-line. Anthony's here. Does Anthony remember middle school football on the blacktop? Middle school soccer on the field up there was incredible. Marjansky's off to the races. She'll step into the slot. Allie Fleury gets to it. Her shot scores!
Just like I said near the end of the first half, they've been using that play throughout the entirety of the season. They'll play it all the way to the outside and then cross into the middle. Allie has been open majority of the season along with their opposite forward.
It's looking like the keeper was a little bit hurt there, Mae McGowan. She was on the turf for a little while there. But she seems like she's been checked out now and she seems okay.
Allie Fleury with her second goal of the night.
Just great work.
With plenty of time to make it a hat trick.
So we'll know if we'll see that. So that provides some insurance for this Tigers lead. And if we had sponsors and we had an insurance company, that'd be the perfect time to throw in a segue.
I love the way you think, Brady.
We are looking to bring in sponsored segments at some point. So we're also looking into finding a way to do a replay system. There's a lot of things cooking behind the scenes here at the South Hadley Sports Network.
No, I'm not saying it this time. Not saying it this time.
Boo!
I'll take the end of the game.
No, you won't. That's mine.
Gotcha.
Kaylee Houle at the line to sub in. Oh boy. That was Ava Stankus that got knocked down there by Maggie Evans.
Clearly upset about the lack of a call with the now Lauren on the attack.
She hits a shot. She scores! Her first of the night.
That one, I believe, unassisted. She was able to carry it most of the way up the field on her own.
Colin, you forgot to stop the clock. Oh, I suppose it runs.
And I believe St. Paul called the timeout.
So we will take a brief step aside. Tigers increasing their lead. It's 4-1. So it's 4-1 South Hadley. Colin, what do you think of the offense in this game?
Well, all you really need to do is take a look at the scoreboard, and you'll see what my opinion is. So far, they have been on fire and overpowering the defense with absolute ease.
This is a true 1 seed versus 33 seed game. As I believe in the preliminary round, there was an upset. The 33 seed beat the 32 seed.
Yeah, that's right. But even then, I'd say it's hard to call that an upset. With it only being a 1 seed difference, they are a fairly evenly matched team. Or not team, matchup.
Yeah. "40 teams come into the state tournament. Only 32 make it past the first round."
Very dramatic.
Abby Jelinas gets into a scoring lane. Crossed over to Allie Fleury. Her shot. Looked like she got tripped up on the play. He's okay, though. Goalkeeper is down on the grass, or the turf. Mae McGowan, she's gotten up. So we hope she's okay. Kaylee who will try to get the punt there. Maddie McCardle sends it almost into a South Hadley scoring lane. Now, on the topic of injury, I do want to bring up that Tigers boys soccer player Nolan Massey is on a speedy recovery right now. He unfortunately experienced some injury during that Winthrop game, but the good folks at Mass General helped him out, and he is on the road to a speedy recovery. We do wish him the best in that recovery. Gracie Darren, Kiana Ramos, and Michaela Weaver come in. Kiana and Michaela, their first taste of game action so far. Colin, I know you were keeping close tabs on what was happening with Nolan, so I just figured I'd bring that up in the broadcast to let you know that he's doing okay.
It's definitely good to see recovery from him.
He was one of the major forces for the younger guys for the Tigers this year.
Not only the younger guys, but I'd say throughout the entire team, he was definitely a large asset.
Shot from Maggie Evans was saved by the goalkeeper, who keeps taking extra time to get up. I'm worried if she's dealing with a possible injury that she's sort of shaking off. Would you think anything of that, Colin?
I definitely would, but she also knows that this is potentially one of the most important games of their season. Right now, it is their most important game. So right now, I guess her mentality is really just she needs to fight through it.
Emma
not let down her
Leverholt
team.
and Margot Watkins.
Right there, check the ball. Okay, we gotta move.
The yawns are circulating here in the booth as I think we got so excited for this game, we all got a little sleep deprived.
I'm feeling great. Feeling great.
Just yawning, Colin.
No, it's cold up here. I was born.
That too. It is very cold. Last I knew it was 36 degrees, and that was before sundown. So, if I had to guess, it's probably well below 34 now.
Let's take a look.
We now go live to meteorologist Colin Zaranig, who is pulling up the app on his phone.
Thanks, Brady. Today it looks like it's about 46 degrees out,
No,
which
that's
I don't
not
believe
right.
is possible.
That's not right. That's wrong.
So we're not going to give credit to that.
Apple weather, do better. Michaela Weaver, she's going to get to it. Centering feed will be off kilter, and it'll head into the side of the net.
Hey, let's go. First to the wall, Aaron. Let's go. I need to.
We're going to let some of the game action play out. Sans commentary now.
Stop pushing, Steve. Push from the back.
Sorry about that, folks. We're back. We had a little issue with the camera, and we wanted to alleviate that before we committed fully to this commentary. Which, again, Colin, you've done a stellar job with the commentary so far, and
As have you the entirety of our fall season.
I appreciate that. I don't really know how to follow up with anything there. As the fall season comes to a close, I guess we could. This will be one of our last broadcasts for the fall season. I mean, hopefully the girls will go far enough that we have at least a couple more. But we've had some great help from our teacher advisors, our camera people, commentators, mixers. It's been absolutely incredible what we've done with South Hadley Sports Network. And Colin, I owe a lot of it to you. This was your baby.
No, I'm not. I would love to take the credit, but I'm not gonna lie. I do have to pass the credit for the idea off to two people. One of which being Sean Dean, one of my neighbors. He had actually mentioned that he had been watching the other person I wanted to mention, or group, the Pope Francis, their group.
They do great.
They do have a very good production. I'm hoping to get up to the level that ours is similar to them, which I believe we are getting close to. So Pope Francis, you have some competition coming your way.
We do have a player down on the field for St. Paul. Time is called, and we will step aside for the moment. So that player that came off the field was number 15, Julia Respigini. We do hope for the best in her recovery. It's one of the toughest parts of sports. You think about this game, all the glitz and glamour and showmanship. Sports have become commercialized to an extent. I mean, our broadcast probably wouldn't be a thing without the commercialization of sports. But there is still the dark side of sports, where the injured or lose. There's two sides to every story, and unfortunately we see that more than we'd like to. So Kaylee Houle will take it through center. Feed to Michaela Weber. She'll try and get it around the defense, who's tripped up on the play. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I have relatively weak ankles. I think that if I were on a soccer field and I got kicked in the shin or the ankle, I likely wouldn't get up for a solid 5 minutes. Precisely why I haven't played soccer since like 4th grade.
Actually, I didn't know you played soccer.
I did.
I remember you playing basketball, but
I was the kind of kid who was so committed to soccer that I sat in the puck net and picked grass.
oh,
That's the level that I was committed to soccer.
high commitment.
Yeah. Baseball, I was definitely committed for. Basketball, I hated the conditioning part of my practices.
Always the worst for any sport.
Yeah, win that.
Especially when you think about the difference between soccer and basketball. At least for me, just the transition between those two sports. You expect to be in somewhat good shape, but the difference between being in shape for soccer and being in shape for basketball is tremendous. Bit of a push there, which I believe goes called. It does.
Because in basketball, you're running down, 180 feet of wood? Whereas soccer, you're running down 100 plus yards of turf.
The only difference with that, though, is soccer has a lot more stoppage, and it's a much bigger field, so there's a lot more time they're able to rest. Basketball, you're almost always in the play, which makes it require a little bit more conditioning.
That's why when you see pictures of basketball players, you see them coming off the court, they're always dripping in sweat, and they're usually beet red. Of course, we saw that a lot with one of our senior captains last year, Colin Quinn. A fan favorite here at the South Hadley Sports Network.
Fan favorite or Brady favorite?
Well, announcing his name was always super fun, because I'd always save it for last, and I'd go, and at guard, number 13, Colin Quinn.
Oh, trust me, I remember.
Unless I go to Framingham State, where he is now, he's intending to play D3 basketball.
I'll take your word for it.
It's D3 or D2. Unless I attend that school, I will likely never get to announce his name again, which is unfortunate. He does, however, have a sister, Sophie, who's playing right now. Riley Fisher goes back in for South Hadley. She'll swap with Rachel Yabra. And that's a pretty quick recovery for Julia Restaghini, who comes right back into the game. Headed out there by Sophie Quinn, ironically enough.
Next throw.
We do not have all that much time left. I'd say a little over 8 minutes, more or less.
You said that right as it hit 8 minutes.
On your clock. On the score clock.
Yeah, my fault.
We have about 9.
Dive on it.
Which, I mean, both the clocks are likely very far off, but we'll let the stoppage time ensue, and the officials will do what they need to do.
Let's go.
In other news, PSAT scores got released today.
Yes, they did.
Myself, Colin, and another member of the broadcast, Justin Moskell, who was watching from home, I believe, we all got the exact same score. I won't disclose what it is. But I'm as smart as Colin. And that's honestly, I'll take that as a compliment.
I appreciate that.
No, you should take that as
Beautiful overlap.
Sophie Quinn, the centering feed. Abby Jelinas gets to it. Michaela Weaver now. Big kick there. Batted away by the keeper. Loose ball. Taken away by the defense.
Huge play by the keeper there. Easily could have been a 5th goal on the night.
Monhay advances up to Stankus. Kaylee Houle gets it past the defense. Now Michaela Weaver gets it away from Ta with a great handle. Houle across to Riley Fisher. Fisher looking to get a meaningful touch here. She will. Michaela Weaver almost gets to it. But that'll be Kate McGowan will take it away for St. Paul. And I can't tell what's happening on that side of the field. Is that a throwing cone?
Yes, it's a Tiger throw-in.
Looks like Lila Shark and Taylor Bullo will also be getting into the game, meaning I believe every player on South Hadley's roster will have seen at least a couple minutes of game action in this game, and that's one of the great things that Coach Marjansky does, getting all the guys, or getting all the girls involved.
And that's another thing that I believe we mentioned earlier comes with a high-scoring game, or a one-sided game, to be more exact, is higher playing time for all of the players and a little less playing time for most of those starters.
Abby Jelinas and Gracie Darren will come out now. And obviously we're seeing a lot of the starters on the bench now. Gwen Marion, Lauren Marjansky, Maddie Soderbaum, Gigi Roy, Kate McCardle, Ali Fleury, Cece Gurek, Kara Dean. All have taken their spots on the sidelines. But this Tigers team clearly isn't weak without their starters. They certainly don't have as much of the scoring catalyst, but they're still playing extremely competent soccer.
Yeah, like the majority of the rest of the game, they've been able to still maintain possession and still remain on the attack for a lot of the time that they've been out there.
And furthermore, they've utilized a lot of their depth. Again, like I said, a lot of those scoring chances and catalysts for the offense have been from the non-varsity players or the non-varsity starters. And Riley Fisher gets tripped up on that play. And is there a call there?
There is, but they will be calling it for St. Paul.
Yep. And Colin, you gotta stop that clock when you get a chance.
It runs.
Yes, it does. Through stoppage time, apparently. Yeah, I didn't know that. Sorry about that. I'm learning things.
The entirety of the South Hadley bench, along with a couple students, were able to see that handball, even if the ref wasn't able to. Then a bit of a wrestling move that also goes uncalled.
These St. Paul players have reverted to playing some pretty dirty soccer.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. They have been overall have played a clean game. There's just been a few calls that just haven't gone both teams' ways, actually.
You have any plans for the day off tomorrow, Colin? Students get a day off. The teachers have to have an in-service day, unfortunately.
You know what I do? Sleep in.
So do I. Sleep in.
You know, I'm really excited. Miss Foley, are you excited to sleep in tomorrow? Oh, you don't start till 8.
So the teachers do
My
get
day-
to sleep in a little bit. Good for them.
My day will be starting at 10.
I'll be up by 9 like usual. I find it hard to sleep in on days that I usually don't. Like, it takes me a while to get into sleeping in on, like, Christmas break or February break. By Wednesday, I'm fully into sleeping in, and then by Friday, I have to turn it around because at Monday, I'm back to getting up early. So I only get to really sleep in for like 2 days.
We love school.
I'm rambling.
And we've now entered stoppage time on the turf clock. So time will be kept by the officials on the field.
I'm honestly glad that this game is winding down, as I'm very cold and relatively hungry.
I am also fairly cold and fairly hungry. So this has certainly been bien. Turned a little Spanish there for a second, but
Muy bien, profe.
this has certainly been an entertaining game to watch. A lot of attacking from the South Hadley team, and there were a lot of huge stops that the defense had, even if they didn't have too much to do.
And that one scoring play from Kata, as much as we don't want to see too much offense from the visiting team, it is nice to see them get on the board at least at one point.
And it was a great display of her abilities on the field. Like you were able to see, it was easily a 1v3 that she was able to get through.
And she has possession here. It's clear that she is the one who is taking the handles. She's the one who's sort of spearheading the offense.
Yeah.
Her and Ava Stankus. All right, Colin, I have a little prediction for you to make. Will our breakdown time be under or over 7 minutes?
Ooh. Gonna have to go with just over 7:02.
That is that's a distinct pick. I like that. And honestly, I'm going to go with it. 7:02 sounds perfect. Not all that much to do. Just have to break down the camera, put away all our wiring stuff, close up the mixer, close up the laptop. Am I missing anything?
Looks like South Hadley will be getting one final attack to work with here as they near the box into the 18, but they'll be scooped up by the keep. And I've kind of taken the play-by-play spot here.
Colin, you're doing great.
Thank you.
I wish that you would do these broadcasts with me more often. I wish that you would come in front of the camera for Tiger's Rewind, but you certainly excel with the behind-the-scenes stuff just as much as you have with the on-air stuff.
And we got a great crew that'll be covering the Tigers Rewind. Wow.
I don't really like that Brady guy.
Oh, yeah. Not really a huge fan.
Yeah. So as we wind down, we will again shout out our crew. On the camera, it's Nick Jimenez. Our teacher advisors, Miss Foley and Miss Nelson. Dan Pease, the studio manager at South Hadley Community TV. He supplies us with all our equipment. Obviously, Colin, I think I've said enough how great of a job you've done tonight.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Right back at you, Brady.
Wow, that's the nicest thing Colin's ever said to me. And that's the game. Tigers win by a demanding score of 4-1, and they have advanced to the Sweet 16.
And I think I'll be taking Brady's spot for tonight. Fans, thank you for joining us tonight on the South Hadley Sports Network.
You're home.
A little early.
We're going to say it together.
Yeah. But we will be back on Wednesday to cover the girls' game, which will be back at the Turf. Unconfirmed time, 5 o'clock. More information will be posted on our Instagram.
Manchester Essex School, correct?
That sounds right. But
You texted me the name of the school.
we will have more information that will be posted on our Instagram, South Hadley Sports Network.
SH Sports Network.
SH Sports Network, thank you.
Yes, Manchester Essex.
Again, thank you for joining us tonight on South Hadley Sports Network, your home
for
Tigers Athletics.
Have a good night, everybody.
See ya.